Hello students, welcome back after a long time. For some of reason I was not there for live, but today onwards I will be there live for you. So all of you are aware, but those are the newcomers. For them I would like to introduce myself. So myself Vishwant Borgale, lecturer in political science of Annapurneshwari P College, and I will be dealing with political science subject. So this is my first video for you where I am going for the live class. Hope so you all are enjoying and being safe in your home. You are doing well your studies. So before starting a lesson of a fifth unit, I would like to tell you one short story. एक व्यक्ति होता है जो बैंक में चला जाता है, तो बैंक में जाने के बाद उसको समझ में नहीं आता कि उसको पैसा भरना होता है, लेकिन समझ में नहीं आता कि क्या क्या करना है। तो वहां पे बैठे हुए एक सिपाही को पूछता है जो पियून होता है, तो वो भी इतनी ज़्यादा जानकारी नहीं देता, तो इसलिए बगल में उसके बैठे वाले एक आदमी को वो अपने पैसे भरने के लिए पैसा दे देता है। और वो कहता है कि साहब ये थोड़ी सी पर्ची भर दो, मुझे बैंक में पैसा जमा करना है। तो कहता है कि अरे आप इतनी तकलीफ मत लीजिए, मैं खुद पर्ची भर के पैसा बैंक में जमा कराऊंगा और आपको ये रिसिप्ट दे दूंगा। तो पर्ची भरता है, पैसा जमा करता है और जो रिसिप्ट मिलती है रिसिप्ट वो उस व्यक्ति को दे देता है और वो वहां से चला जाता है। लेकिन कुछ दिनों के बाद उसको पता चलता है कि उसने 1 लाख रुपए देते पैसे भरने के लिए, और तो उसने बाद में जब निकालना चाहा तो उसके खाते में बस 25,000 ही थे। तो बाकी का पैसा गया कहाँ पे? तो बाकी का जो 75,000 का जो रुपया था, वो रुपया उस खुद आदमी ने अपने अकाउंट पे डलवाया और बस 25,000 इस व्यक्ति के अकाउंट पे डलवाया, और इसको जो रिसिप्ट दी थी वो 25,000 की ही दी थी। लेकिन प्रॉब्लम ये था कि जिस व्यक्ति ने पैसे भरने के लिए दिए थे वो आदमी था अनपढ़, ना वो खुद पढ़ना जानता था ना लिखना जानता था। तो इसी कारण उसके 75,000 रुपये एक व्यक्ति ने ठग लिए। तो देख लो स्टूडेंट्स, पढ़ना लिखना कितना जरूरी है। ऐसा भी कहा जाता है कि एक बच्चे को पढ़ाओ तो एक बच्चा ही शाना हो जाता है या फिर शिक्षित हो जाता है, लेकिन आप जब एक औरत को पढ़ाते हो तो औरत खुद पढ़ती है और पूरे परिवार को भी पढ़ाती है। इसलिए एजुकेशन, लिटरेसी इज अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग राइट नाउ in this present situation. It may be a girl or boy, all to be educated well. There should not be any discrimination based on the gender. So each and every person of the country should get literate, because literacy ratio is less compared to the other countries. And being second populous country in the world, we are not utilizing this manpower for our development. So for that, giving education and improving literacy ratio is very important at present. So we'll start our video, and today's topic of the fifth unit, that is nation building and challenges to Indian democracy, of this fifth unit, and today's topic is illiteracy. So in this video we'll see what is illiteracy, its definition, what are the causes, and how this illiteracy is a hurdle to the development of the country as well as for the democracy also, and what are the remedies have been taken by the government to eradicate this illiteracy. So what do you think? Oh, what exactly the illiteracy? So, in generally, we say that a person who is unable to read and write, that person is called as an illiterate. But why this literacy ratio is very important? Yeah, not only this is a problem, not only in India, but also across the number of the countries are there in the world who are facing the problem of illiteracy. So for that, literacy programs have been introduced in number of the countries in India, in the world. So India is also one of that, where the number of the schemes have been introduced. Students, previously you might have heard about the literacy scheme. Saksharta Mission is there, Sarv Shiksha Abhiyan is there. So these schemes have been introduced to making people aware about education, get them educated, let them know the things are needed in generally. So let's see what is exactly definition about the illiteracy or shiksha. A person unable to read and write in any language is called illiterate. The main thing, a person who is unable to read and write in any language, it may be his mother tongue, it may be in Hindi, it may be in English. So if person is unable to read and write, then that person is called as a illiterate. Here, sometimes people, he know very well to read, but sometimes he is unable to write also. So that person who is able to read but who is unable to write, that person also considered as a illiterate because he can't write. So that person also called as a illiterate, and because he can't write, he can only read. Okay, so this is about the illiteracy. Even different things are there, and this illiteracy will discriminate or put our country down or makes a country backward because of the illiteracy. So there are the number of the causes for that illiteracy. So what are those causes and how they will adversely affect on development of the country? So first cause is population explosion. Yeah, as per 2011 census, India has crossed 121 crore population. At present, this is a 2020 or 2020 what we used to say. So exactly 130 crore population has been crossed by the India, which is the second most populous country after the China in the world. Yeah, China is having 140 crores of the population. Yeah, being second most populous country, which acquires 17.5% of the world's population. जितनी पूरी दुनिया की जनसंख्या है उसमें से हमारी इंडिया की आबादी 17.5%. 17.5% of the world's total population, it's there in India. So compared to the area, population is too more, and that's why we are facing a problem with the development. Especially in Karnataka, when we think about the Karnataka, so 6.11 crores of population of the Karnataka presently, and this number also is more. When we compare to the population and Indian population with the another countries, so Indian literacy ratio is very less. So being more populous country, illiterate people numbers are more, because 60% of the population lives in villages, and in the villages there is a more illiteracy ratio is there in the villages also. So this is the first cause for the illiteracy, that is population explosion. Second one is poverty. Number of the families and number of the people who live in the rural areas, even in the city, this problem is faced a lot. When you go in the cities, number of the people you will see close by the roadsides, on the footpaths, tunnel sides, below the tunnels or bridges, number of the bakers you will find, and those peoples are facing a problem of malnutrition and anemia. Anemia is one of a disease which is faced because of or lack of nutritious food. जिन लोग या फिर जो लोग दिन में काम करते हैं, पैसा कमाते हैं, तब जाकर उनको रात में रोटी मिलती है, तो ऐसे अनेक सी फैमिलीज हमारे देश में मिलेंगे. लगभग अभी भी 40% of the people who live in BPL or in a poverty, their basic needs also are not going to be fulfilled, which is food, cloth, shelter. इसलिए लोग फुटपाथ पे सोते, ब्रिजेस के नीचे सोते, टनल्स में सोते, छोटे पाइप में सोते हैं, तो छोटी छोटी झोपड़ियां बनाकर लोग रहने लगते हैं. तो पावर्टी आज की बड़ी समस्या है, जिसके कारण इलिटरेसी बढ़ती जा रही है. Malnutrition, lack of nutritious food, and anemia. So the government has started in Anganwadis providing food grains and nutritious food for the pregnant women and kids also. Along with that, the poor families and low income families also face the same kind of problem. जब खाने की ही मांगे तो एजुकेशन कहाँ से मिलेगा? दो वक्त की रोटी नहीं मिलती, या फिर जब तक आप काम नहीं करते तब तक आपको रोटी नहीं मिलेगी, और बिना रोटी के आप पढ़ोगे कैसे? बेसिक नीड्स आपकी कंप्लीट नहीं है, तो एजुकेशन के बारे में कौन कौन सोचेगा यहाँ पे? क्योंकि खाली पेट दिमाग तो काम नहीं करेगा. तो इसलिए दिस पॉवर्टी हैज बिकम द सेकेंड कॉज फॉर द इलिटरेसी. थर्ड वन इज अबाउट द सोशल बैकवर्डनेस. या आवर सोसाइटी, हमारा कहते हैं मेरा भारत महान, लेकिन इसी महान भारत में जहाँ पे यूनिटी इन डाइवर्सिटी है, अलग प्रकार के लोग रहते हैं, कम्युनिटी के, रिलीजन के, अलग वेशभूषा के, लैंग्वेज के हैं, उसी प्रकार अलग अलग धर्म के लोग हैं, और इस धर्म में या फिर इस धर्म वाले देश में उच्च नीचता अभी भी बनी रहती है. सो द हायरार्ची इज प्रेजेंट इन इंडिया where the people follow superior, inferior, higher class, lower class, rich and poor. This discrimination is there. So the people are facing lots of backwardness, social backwardness. For example, SC, SD and OBC. These people still remain backward socially. They're not up to the mark of compare with the other communities. So to eradicate that, that is a major problem. Lack of education. Mostly in SC, ST people, they're not getting much education. Even in a Muslim community also, very less people get the education. And it's our drawback that the girls' education is very poor. Number of the girls will drop out from the secondary school itself. आपने देखा होगा कि प्राइमरी क्लास में आपके साथ कितने लोग थे, या फिर आपकी क्लास की स्ट्रेंथ कितनी थी, और आगे जाते जाते स्कूल के एंड तक SSLC कंप्लीट करते तक वो स्ट्रेंथ कितनी रही, और आगे जाकर PU में और डिग्री कॉलेज में कितनी रहेगी. तो आप देखेंगे आगे भी कि कैसे आपकी क्लास की स्ट्रेंथ कम कम होती जाती है. दैट इज ओनली बिकॉज ऑफ इलिटरेसी एज वेल एज सोशल बैकवर्डनेस. People will not think what is the importance of education. They will not think about it. If my child not get the education, then what problem they may face in the future. So that is a social backwardness. Communities are lack in getting education. Girls are getting lack. Girls are not provided well education. So the government has made mandatory now that free and compulsory education for primary is up to the 8th standard, 6 to 14 age. Fourth point is that is child labor. आज के जमाने में भी इतने एडवांस, साइंस में एडवांस है, कल्चर में एडवांस है, भारत इतना एडवांस होकर भी अभी भी बच्चे आप देख सकते हैं गैराज में काम करते हैं, रोड साइड काम करते हैं, होटल्स में काम करते हैं, चाय की टपरियों पर भी रहते हैं, अनेक से जगहों पर, खेतों में भी होते हैं, अनेक से जगहों पर आपको ये चाइल्ड लेबर्स मिलेंगे। तो चाइल्ड लेबर that has become one of the biggest problem now because of the economical problem, that poor socio-economic condition of the family. Sometimes what happens, the eldermost child of the family has the responsibility about the earning money also, because sometimes the father who is a alcoholic, mother used to go and work but that money is not sufficient, so that time the eldermost son whose age is now below 14, so that child has to go and work for his family, for his siblings, for his brothers and sisters, so that makes him as a child labor. And when the responsibility is there, so child will drop out from the school list and will go for the earning in the field, garage, wherever he gets the earning source. At present, or as per the 2001 census, a census ratio report that 2 crores of the child laborers have found in India. दो सौ 21 करोड़ में से 2 करोड़ बच्चे चाइल्ड लेबर है, यानी उनके पूरे फैमिली की जिम्मेदारी उन बच्चों के कंधों पर ही आ टिकती है। तो ऐसे बच्चों को एजुकेशन कहाँ से मिलेगा और वो शिक्षित कहाँ से बनेंगे? आगे जाकर यही बच्चे जो देश के नागरिक बनेंगे, सुजान नागरिक बनेंगे। अगर ऐसे सुजान नागरिक जिनको पढ़ना लिखना नहीं आता तो वो देश के बारे में क्या सोचेंगे, या फिर कैसे फिर देश की उन्नति होगी? सो चाइल्ड लेबर also the biggest problem for the illiteracy. And fifth problem, that is a poor infrastructure. आज बच्चे जाकर स्कूल में पढ़ते हैं, सीबीएसई स्कूल्स हो या फिर सिटी के स्कूल्स को, वहां पे इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर रहता है, क्लासरूम कंडीशंस रहती है, प्लेग्राउंड्स रहते हैं, वेल ट्रेंड टीचर्स रहते हैं उनको सिखाने के लिए, क्योंकि हर एक बच्चा वहां पे 40 से 50 हजार रुपए एक साल का देता है कम से कम। बट व्हाट अबाउट द schools in villages? Schools, those comes in far away or remote stations like hillsides, mountainsides. There is no proper building of the school. There is no proper infrastructure inside the school. Even there are no well-trained teachers. Even there is no study material. Our parents or sometimes grandparents, you might have heard that जब हम अपने स्कूल में जाते थे तो हमें एक थैली मिलती थी जिसमें एक पाटी और पेंसिल बस मिलती थी, जिसके ऊपर हमने पूरी पढ़ाई अपनी, वो भी प्राइमरी की पूरी पढ़ाई कंप्लीट की। तो ऐसी सिचुएशन अभी भी कुछ फैमिलीज में मिलती है जिन बच्चों को किताबें नहीं मिलती, जिनको ठीक से एक ढंग का यूनिफॉर्म भी नहीं मिलता और बेसिक फैसिलिटीज भी नहीं मिलती एजुकेशन के लिए। सो दैट इज अ फिफ्थ प्रॉब्लम, दैट इज अ पुअर इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर, lack of study material, lack of infrastructure, and even there are no trained graduate teachers to teach the students with a technical and give them proper education. So students, these are the causes for the illiteracy: population explosion, poverty, social backwardness, child labor, and poor infrastructure. So these are the different causes which makes a country backward. Now let's see what are the illiteracy as an impediment to democracy. How this illiteracy remains hurdle for the democracy and how it is going to be adverse effect on the developmental country. So before that, we'll see some of the facts that the illiteracy has a curse and implementation. If we take this population explosion or population in a positive way, then definitely it will be a blessing to us, to the developing country, and which is very important one. Students, now we will see illiteracy as an impediment to democracy. So impediment means hurdle. So up to here we've seen that how the illiteracy is going to be adverse effect on democracy. Now sometimes it has been taken as a positive, sometimes it goes on like a negative also. So illiterate peoples or the politician take disadvantage of those illiterate peoples. Sometimes they will get abused and exploited also. So this situation should be changed. And when it will change? When we make the people aware about the education, and when we will provide education to them. Before that, let's see some of the facts which gives you clear idea about what is the illiteracy ratio in 1951 and how it was in 2011. So as per the census, there are some facts which have been given in this table of the page number 150. So the table percentage here, this table gives a percentage about the 2011 census and 1951 census. As per that, what is the ratio about the table? First, the percentage of illiteracy in 1951 and 2011. So census year 1951, and the total percentage is about 18.33. In that, male percentage is 27.16, whereas female percentage is just 8.86. Means compared to the men, female ratio is very low. Men's percentage is round figure 27, whereas women's percentage is only 8.86. And then in 2011, the total percentage is 74, whereas males is 82.74 and women's is 65.46. Yes, it is increase. This is a literacy ratio has been grown from 1951 to 2011, and this year also it will neon increases. As per the same 2011 census, the Kerala was the highest. Kerala state was with the highest literacy ratio, that was 94%, whereas Karnataka was having just 75.36% with its ratio. So compared to the other states, Karnataka's literacy ratio is less. So it should be grown up. Now let's see what are the points that makes the illiteracy as an impediment or hurdle to the democracy. In that, first, lack of political awareness. Yeah, people, those are illiterate, they're not about educated about political also, politicians, political parties. So because lack of education, they're not aware about what is the importance of voting. कोई भी अनपढ़ व्यक्ति ज्यादा शिक्षित लोगों के बारे में नहीं सोचता, या फिर जो भी चुनाव में खड़ा व्यक्ति है उसके एजुकेशन, उसको पॉलिटिकल बैकग्राउंड क्या है, फाइनेंशियल बैकग्राउंड क्या है, उसने कुछ क्राइम किया है या नहीं किया है, बस पैसा मिला नोट कितने देता है उसके ऊपर वोट डिपेंड रहता है. So the people are not aware about that is the importance of the vote. Second, they are not aware or lack about the agenda. What is the manifesto they have? After getting elected, what they are giving as surety to the peoples? Will provide good electricity, transport facility, education facility, like these kind of agendas, even ideologies of the political parties. So in which principles they will live or their political party believe, so the people are not aware about this all the things, importance of vote, agenda of the political party, even ideologies of the political parties, because lack of political awareness of that illiterate person. Second, that is low percentage of vote. Even let it be it is a illiterate person, लिटरेट पर्सन शिक्षित व्यक्ति भी जिस दिन वोटिंग रहता है उस दिन तो वो सरकारी छुट्टियां रहती है, तो ये लोग वोट डालने की बजाय घूमने चल जाते हैं या फिर उस दिन को वो पिकनिक समझते हैं. तो भाई अशिक्षित व्यक्ति, अनाक्षर जो व्यक्ति है उसका हाल क्या फिर? वो तो क्या कहेगा, मेरा अंगूठा दबाने से क्या फायदा होगा लोगों का, या फिर मेरा क्या फायदा हो रहा है? अगर ऐसे ही हर एक व्यक्ति सोचेगा तो वोट देगा कौन? अरे वोट अच्छे लोगों को चुनकर लाने में, देश को विकसित बनाने के लिए वोटिंग पावर है हमारे पास. अगर वही पावर हम इस्तेमाल नहीं करेंगे तो देश का क्या होगा, हमारा क्या होगा? स्टिल द परसेंटेज ऑफ द वोट इज जस्ट बिलो 60. इट हैज बीन नॉट क्रॉस. देन व्हाट अबाउट द रिमेनिंग 40% ऑफ द वोट्स? एक वोट आपका, एक सही वोट एक अच्छे व्यक्ति को जिता सकता है, एक अच्छा समाज बसा सकता है, एक अच्छा सरकार ला सकता है. तो उसके लिए हमें ध्यान देना चाहिए कि वोटिंग कितना अहम पूर्ण है. दैट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट वन. पीपल आर नॉट अवेयर अबाउट इवन द रूल्स ऑफ द elections or the votings, then parties. So this is only because of lack of political awareness. Lack of percentage of votes, 60%. Still we are having just percentage of the voting is just 60%, because still people are not aware about the political things. We have to create the political awareness among the people, and instead of note, people have to think about the political background, economical background, and criminal background of the candidate whom they are going to vote. Third point is money and muscle power. सत्ता का लालच आदमी को इतना बदल देता है कि वो सत्ता के लिए कुछ भी कर सकता है. So to get the votes, to get elected, and to be in a power, the politicians may start the rigging the peoples. Even it may be by capturing or it may be threatening. कभी कभार कुछ लोगों को अगवा किया जाता है, किडनैप किया जाता है, जो भी वोट डालने वाले हैं या फिर उस पार्टी के नेता को जो भी अपोज करते हैं. सो दैट पर्सन मे गोइंग टू बी कैप्चर्ड. समटाइम दे मे फोर्स by giving money, sometime by muscle power, sometime by kidnapping some of the persons or giving them warnings. If you are not going to vote for me, or if you go against me, so you may get killed, your family members get killed. So the politicians will go for any level of the, like lower level. The tendency is going to be changed, because to get only into the power, to get the seat, so it make them as a criminalization also, criminal also. Number of the crimes can be done only to get the power. इलेक्शन में चुनने के लिए या फिर एमएलए बनने के लिए, एमपी बनने के लिए लोगों ने अनेक से मर्डर्स किए, खून की नदियां बहाई है. तो that is only for that creates again a hurdle for the democracy. money and muscle power. Fourth point, politics of populism. Politics of populism. Some places of our country, the leaders are going to be worshipped like a god. They are treated as like a god and goddesses also. So this is a populism. Wherever they go, they will get the very kind-hearted and fellowships. Number of the people will follow them. Even they will copy their style also. So this impact of the politicians is good on the people, but sometimes it goes wrongly also. When the people will think the politician as a leader, not that leader as a god, so that leader will become as a dictator. It may be sometimes voluntarily people will accept, sometimes they get more force also, as like a Hitler, then the Mussolini, and the Korean dictator is there. So these kind of examples are there. So this democracy will turn as a dictatorship. तानाशाह बन जाते हैं, हुकुमशाह बन जाते हैं ये लोग लीडर्स, और पूरे देश को कब्जे में ले लेते हैं. So the democracy will turn into the as a dictatorship only because of this populism. खुद लोग ही उस बंधन में बन जाते हैं, या फिर कभी मसल पावर से उन लोगों को अपने कब्जे में लिया जाता है. दैट इज वन मोर हर्डल. एंड द फिफ्थ पॉइंट, दैट इज एमर्जेंस ऑफ डिक्टेटरशिप. इट इज ऑल्सो एज लाइक सेम. So in politics of the populism, here the people will depends on the politicians for each and every work. They will depends on the politicians. Even they are depends on the government also. And emergence of dictatorship, here the people will follow the leader, and the leader will turn as a dictatorship. So these are the different impediments which makes illiteracy as an impediment to the democracy. So lack of political awareness, low percentage of votes, money and muscle power, then politics of populism, and emergence of the dictatorship. So these are the different things which makes illiteracy as a impediment to the democracy. Students, now let's see with the remedies what steps have been taken by the government to eradicate this illiteracy. So first one, where the national curriculum setters are there, those have changed some of the policies, and national curriculum frame which has been introduced in 2005. So as per that, education system has been changed, and Indian government which made the 86th constitutional amendment, as per that article number 45, which provides free and compulsory education for the children. So article number 45 provides free and compulsory education, and this 86th amendment which was introduced in 2002, which is called as a RTE. So RTE stands for Right to Education. So for the age group of 6 to 14, it may be boy or girl. So age group of 6 to 14, which considered as a primary education up to the elementary, means first to 8. So that education is going to be provided free and compulsory. Free and compulsory education for the age group of 6 to 14 as per the RTE, which was introduced in 2002 as per this 86th amendment, constitutional amendment, which is a very important. Then many things have been introduced or mentioned in this 86th constitutional amendment. So what are the provisions are there in that 86th amendment? So first provision, that is compulsory education. Here the government has not made only compulsory education. Along with that, in your locality there is one of a government school, aided or unaided or government or private, so that all the schools it is made compulsory whatever the children comes in the age group of 6 to 14 have to go and approach those students, that management and teachers, and take those students, give them compulsory education. Admission should be taken compulsory and attendance is must. Attendance of that student is must from beginning of the class and end of the school. So to get the proper attendance, the Indian government, here number of the state governments has introduced midday meals, BC berry, even that rice has provided in the afternoon, where the poor students can come and have the food proper and they can attend all the classes. So compulsory education, which includes compulsory admission and attendance as per this 86th कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल अमेंडमेंट. उनका एडमिशन भी कराना है और उनका अटेंडेंस भी 100% होना ही चाहिए. दिस इज अ फर्स्ट प्रोविजन. सेकेंड प्रोविजन, पेरेंट्स ड्यूटी. देन व्हाट द पेरेंट्स ड्यूटी इट इज टू सेंड अवर चिल्ड्रन, their children to the school, and they have to see whether the child is going to the school or not. He is there whole day or not, his attendance is there or not. It's that parents or the guardian's duty to send their children and not send their children to the work for earning money. So it's a parent's duty to send their children to the school to getting the education. Third provision, that the trained teachers, all kinds of facilities to be provided by the management as well as by the government also. So what facilities to be provided for the increase the literacy ratio? So well trained graduate teachers to be provided, that is trained teachers, ratio of student and teacher ratio means 40:1. This is a at present by the government ratio. Behind the 40 children, 35 to 40 children, one teacher should be there. In CBSE it might be 10:1, यानी 10 बच्चों के पीछे एक शिक्षक होना चाहिए. लेकिन सरकारी ऑर्डर के ऊपर 35 to 40, 35 से 40 बच्चों के पीछे एक शिक्षक होना चाहिए. सो दैट इज स्टूडेंट टीचर रेशियो एंड इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर, दैट द प्रॉपर बिल्डिंग, एटलीस्ट शेल्टर शुड बी देयर, proper ventilation should be there, sitting arrangement should be there, light system should be there. So these all the things, or this all infrastructure should be provided. Fourth, now here center and state expenditure for education, the criteria has been fixed. How much amount or how much expenditure will be done by the central government and how much expenditure will be done by the state government, and that ratio is 65:35. Means 65% of the expenditure will be done by the central government, whereas state government will have the expenditure about the 35%. So 65 plus 35%, center and state government expenditure. This criteria has been fixed by the 86th amendment. Fifth, dropout students. Dropout students means in the primary itself, some students will go for the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, then they will drop out. So these kind of students should be identified by the society, and those dropout students again should be brought to the school for his next class. So those dropout students to be taken to the school. So these are the 5 provisions which have been mentioned in 86th constitutional amendment. Then whatever the schools are there, it may be private, those may be added or unaided or non-aided, those all the schools should have 25% of the reserve seats for SC, ST, OBC and minority. 25% seats should be reserved by the aided, non-aided, private, all the schools for SC, ST, OBC, minority and even especially for the girls also. So these all are the remedies have taken to increase the literacy ratio in India. So students, this is in brief about the illiteracy, its causes, how it is impedient for the democracy and remedies to remove the illiteracy by the government. Thank you students.